everyone, and welcome to Cook with Janie's Kitchen. That's me, Janie Turner, and today we are going to be making some very, very beautiful cookies, alias biscuits in the UK. They're really wonderful, and this is my favorite cookie recipe because it's really flexible. So I want you to be able to make different kinds of biscuits, cookies, with the same recipe. And this will give you a really good basic recipe. It's more nourishing now because I've changed the recipe over the years to add other ingredients instead of just plain flour, and that's really nice as well. So welcome everybody, glad you're all coming on, that is great. And today I'm going to ask you all to vote. So think about this as we go through the recipe, and feel free to send in a comment. Would you like these cookies today to be with sultanas, alias raisins, or would you like them to be with chocolate chips? Let me know what you think, because this recipe can make either oat and sultana recipe, or you could put cinnamon in that, or chocolate chip cookies. And this recipe was given to me, well, the original that I varied was given to me, I could not believe it when I worked it out, 50 years ago. And that doesn't seem possible. That's incredible, isn't it? 50 years, oh my golly gosh. Anyway, what I'm going to do today is I'm going to get started on my recipe, and these are the ingredients. So here we go, Janie's favorite cookies. And we've got, instead of flour, almonds and oats. We've got unsalted butter, some live yogurt, soda bicarb alias baking soda, and fine sea salt, coconut sugar, and real vanilla extract, large eggs, and dark chocolate chips or raisins or sultanas. So here we go, everyone. What we're going to do first is we're going to add in our oats and almonds. So I've got a mixture of blanched almonds here and ordinary unroasted, unsalted almonds. And I'm just going to weigh those in. So here we go. Rightio, it is 80 grams of almonds and 100 grams of oats. It's a little bit less than that, but that'll be fine. And then we're going to move on to turning this into a flour, which is really easy. So I'm going to go back to my home screen and grind this for 20 seconds at speed 10. If you've got earplugs in, or you're listening on your phone, you might want to just take them off for a sec. Here we go, speed 10. Hi Tommy, nice to see your name popping up, Baker Extraordinaire. And what we've got now is we've got a flour made out of our oats and almonds. Really easily done, it's literally just ground up and it's fresh, so really good for you. If you like peanut butter and you want a peanut flavor in these, you could have added 80 grams of peanuts in there too, unsalted, unroasted. And that would end up creating a more buttery biscuit because the peanuts are quite buttery. If you can't have peanuts, use extra almonds. What I'm adding now is I'm adding my butter and 2 teaspoons of yogurt. So that goes in, and we're just going to literally turn this into a buttery mixture now. And that is going to be 20 seconds at speed 6. So here we go, 20 seconds. Speed 6. Now I can hear that the Thermomix is working on air there, so when you get used to working with your Thermomix, you'll know when things are either done or they need to be scraped down from the sides of the bowl. This looks totally perfect, and that was done in 9 seconds. So really great. And what I'm going to do now is add the rest of my ingredients. So here we go. There's my sugar. That's 100 grams of coconut sugar. You can use ordinary unrefined cane sugar as well if you wish, or instead of this. But the coconut sugar gives a beautiful flavor, and you don't have to use quite so much. You might have to use 120 grams of unrefined cane sugar. We've got 2 eggs, and we're going to add half a teaspoon of fine sea salt and 1/4 teaspoon of soda bicarbonate, called baking soda in North America. And I think it's called baking soda in Australia as well. And in Ireland, it's called bread soda. So a variety of names for it there. And we've got a teaspoon of vanilla to go in. So here we go. There we are. Lovely. And that adds wonderful flavor. I got this when I was in Mexico at a wedding a couple of years ago. So, and the friends who I am talking about will know exactly. They were really lucky and received a Thermomix as a wedding present. So that was a very special and very wonderful wedding present. And I'm just going to scrape down here, standing on my tippy toes. And then I'm going to mix this up into my cookie mixture. So here we go, lid on. And this is really quick and easy, 20 seconds, speed 5, and it might not even take that long. So let's just go back up. We'll listen to the Thermomix again. So here we go, gradually turning up. So the next thing I'm going to add is my oats.
Do you want to know how the voting is going, Janie?
Yes, absolutely.
So far, Sultanas is winning by 1 vote.
Oh! So what I did at the beginning of this video was I asked people to vote on whether they wanted this to be Oat and Sultana, or oat and raisin cookies, or whether they'd like it to be chocolate chip cookies today. So what I've got here is a really liquidy mixture, just lovely mixed up, and I'm going to add my oats to it now. So here we go with our oats.
And we have an interesting question, Jenny, about ingredients.
Yes.
Denise says, could you use tahini paste instead of the nuts?
Oh yes, you probably could actually. That would make beautiful biscuits. What a great idea, Denise. You might have to watch the baking of them. They might bake a little bit faster because sesame seeds just might react in the oven slightly differently. So maybe set the timing for 2 or 3 minutes less and just keep an eye on them as they bake. So now what we're going to do is just stir in these oats. So here's the first variation of these cookies. If you want these to be cinnamon oatmeal cookies, then add a heaped teaspoon, if you like cinnamon, of ground cinnamon here at this point now, and then just mix these in. And this is just a few seconds at speed 4, probably 15. So it sounds pretty even to me, and that's one thing, if you're a creative cook, you can learn to do with your Thermomix, is just listen to how it's mixing. So what we've got now is we've got a biscuit recipe, which would be a biscuit that spreads out on the tray. So you'd have to do quite a long distance in between, maybe about 5 or 6 centimeters between your biscuits. But now what we're going to do is we're actually going to add either sultanas, which are golden raisins in North America, or chocolate chips, depending on the results of the vote. So please vote now, and I'll give it another few seconds, and you can decide when John has actually told me the results of the vote, which one it's going to be today. So a few seconds more.
We are getting some cheeky double voting, but I'm on top of it.
So what is it, John? What are the results?
So depending on who you are, it's either 4-2 sultanas or it's 5-2. So
Oh
it's
my
definitely
gosh.
sultanas.
Okay, so it's
no, it's now 5-3.
Oh,
It's now 5-4 or 4-4.
oh my gosh.
So
If you really like all of these things, you can add all of them. You could add cinnamon, you could add sultanas or dark raisins, whichever you like. Or you could add, and you could add the chocolate chips. I'm just going to put in the raisins because they got in first today. But I can show you the chocolate chips, so no problem with that. Oh, maybe we'll sneak in a few little sneaky chocolate chips too. So there we are. And at this point in the recipe, you can actually just stir these in by hand with your Thermomix spatula. So here it goes. So hopefully I'm making everybody really happy with the results of this. This makes a lovely, slightly wet mixture. And the purpose of that is that you're going to leave this mixture to rest. So what I'm going to do here is show you. Let's put this here. I'll just pop that here. And put that sitting on there by itself. Keep it out of the way. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get my tray. And I'm going to put some of this biscuit dough, alias cookie dough, out on the tray. So this is chocolate chip raisin oatmeal biscuits today. So it's nice and easy to lift up. I'm going to put a dozen. This is quite a big tray here. And so you have to leave enough room for them to spread out a bit. But during the resting time, they're going to soak up some of that liquid, which is great. So just put another one on here and then put that to one side. I can do that later. Oh, my extra pair of hands is magically clearing up the ingredients in front of me here, which is great. So there we are. If we had a dozen on there, that would be ready to set aside and rest and then bake in about 6 hours or maybe even tomorrow morning. And the other thing you can do, I'll bring it back, is you can actually freeze the biscuits raw like this at this point in the recipe. And I like doing that because then I can just bring them out of the freezer, I open freeze them, and then I pop them into a container, a Ziploc bag or a freezer container, and then I can make biscuits anytime I want because they're there and they're easy. And that's great if you have children who are homeschooling and they're desperate for a snack, or if you've got friends dropping around when things open up a little bit more, or if you're in a country where things are open already. And then you've got your wonderful biscuits. So what you want to do when they're ready to bake is you want to preheat your oven, and you want to preheat it to about 170 degrees centigrade without the fan, or 150 degrees with. So it's quite a gentle baking temperature. And you want it to be, how long do you open freeze them? You open freeze them until they are solid. So it'll probably take 2 to 4 hours, or whenever you remember to go back to the freezer, just double check and see if they're rock hard yet, and you'll know. So bake these for about maybe 15 minutes. If you've done Denise's tahini variation, then try it for about 12 minutes first and check whether they're done. I like them golden, but not crisp. If you want them to be crisp, then you could actually bake them longer and they'll cook through more. But I really like them soft and lovely like this. They are so yummy, delicious. And you can tell there aren't actually very many left, because when John and I had them this morning with our coffee, we kept going back to the tray and taking more. So this is a really, really easy recipe. It's been in my family, well, it's been in my life for a long, long, long time. I won't say that number of years again because it's a huge number, but you've got a really easy way to make chocolate chip cookies, cinnamon oat cookies, oatmeal and raisin cookies, and you've got real food, made easy, really nourishing. These are gluten-free. And by the way, today I'm sending out, or I just have sent out this morning, a recipe for plum cake, which is delicious, and it is on cookwithjanie.com. I've sent it out to all my subscribers, and if you want to subscribe for recipes there and be in with the list to get the recipes as soon as they appear on my website, then just go to the bottom of the home screen and subscribe. That'd be great. And thank you everyone for coming on and having an understanding of how you can be really flexible with these beautiful, beautiful biscuits, cookies, chocolate chip cookies. And they are my favorite cookies. I hope they will be yours too. Thanks everyone. Bye now.